Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full practice. And today we're working with the theme of acceptance. Every week I do these practices and we weave in a theme throughout the whole practice. And in the end, you can take that theme with you and let it resonate in everything you do. And if this is something that you really like, please subscribe. And if you have a comment or an idea on a theme, let me know. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to take you through a centering, and then I'm going to read the inspirational quotes on acceptance, and then we'll go ahead and take you through a nice practice where we can put it to work. So taking the hands down by the sides, just take a moment, close the eyes and start to draw inward. So we're going to do that by focusing on pelvic floor. So just all the muscles you're sitting on, engage them. We call that mula or root lock, mula bandha. And above that, below the belly button, draw the belly back and get a feeling of flying upward. We call that Uddiyana bandha. It means flying upward. And with mula, your root, and Uddiyana, the flying upward, engage, you go to the top of the spine and gently draw the chin down. We call that Jalandhara bandha or chin lock. And we seal in these inner energies. And with the bandhas engaged now, you can release the hands and we'll just tune into the breath. So as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand. And as you exhale, you feel the rib cage relax and draw closer together. Inhale, feel the expansion of the rib cage. And then exhale, feel how the rib cage draws closer together. And one more time, big breath in. And exhale, feel how the rib cage draws closer together. And now we'll take the hands in prayer position and we'll vibrate together in Om, and then I'll recite the quotes. Inhale. Om. Serenity comes when you trade expectations for acceptance. You don't need to understand everything because sometimes it is not meant to be understood, but to be accepted. To be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You just need to accept yourself. The greatest gift you can give to others is the gift of unconditional love and acceptance. Accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. Acceptance. I think of that in my practice as allowing rather than striving. So one way that we can really find that is to focus on breath in our practice. So often in Hatha Yoga, we use the Ujjayi breath. And the Ujjayi breath can be a warming breath or a heating breath, but it can also help regulate your breath. And then you learn to move with your breath. So we would just do the same breathing with the bandhas engaged, with the rib cage expanding, and then the rib cage coming together, but we add a little sound. So it's like a hissing sound on the vocal cords. I've heard it described as Darth Vader. So it kind of sounds like this. All the while we keep that drishti, that inner gaze outward, and we're in the pose. So let's give it a go. So we'll come to all fours, and we'll start off just by warming up the spine and allowing the spine to move. So inhale, gazing down the nose, exhale, pull the belly up. One more time. Try the Ujjayi breath. Inhale, and exhale. And now we'll take it to downward facing dog. Exhale as you get into the pose. And breathe here. Inhale. Exhale. As usual, you could bend the knees, try to really get length in your spine, breathing the whole time. You could move your head around for a moment. You could even pedal your feet out a little. And then we'll take a moment and slowly walk up to the hands, inhaling and exhaling. And just hang here for a moment. You could even grab your elbows. And now we're going to slowly curl up, one vertebra at a time. You can bend the knees and really round your spine, pull the belly in. Coming all the way up to standing. And we'll step everything together in Samasthiti, standing still and straight. And we're going to start the practice with Surya Namaskar A. I always have a couple yoga blocks and a little towel or yoga strap. So if you want to go get those, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. Surya Namaskar A. Big breath in. Lifting. And exhale, fold. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, take it back to plank. Find a moment to find a really solid plank. Notice where your head is. Notice you're not sinking, really push up. I like to come to my knees because I can maintain this alignment as I lower down. Exhale. And I like to put a push up here because it helps develop strength. Rise up, and then we'll come through to upward facing dog, gazing down the nose, the tail is under. Inhale. And exhale, we'll take it back to downward facing dog. And breathe. Notice how long you can keep your inhalations and exhalations, and can you have them equal in length? Maybe you can gaze in the direction of your navel. Maybe it's your legs, keeping that drishti. And allowing the spine to open and the front body to open and the shoulders and the hamstrings and the calves. And then we'll slowly walk up. And then fold. Inhale. Reaching. And exhale, hands come down. And again, inhale. See how much you can flow with your breath, allowing openings to happen. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take it back. And lowering down, finding a gaze point a little in front of you on the floor as you push up and then come through. Inhale, gazing down the nose. And then find an exhalation to take you back to downward facing dog. Breathe. Keep breathing. Inhale. Keep the bandhas engaged, so you're really pulling the belly in as you breathe into the rib cage. One more breath. And we'll slowly make our way up to the front, pushing, breathing, and exhale once you're there. And then inhale, lengthen, gazing down the nose and then up to the hands. And exhale, hands down. And now we'll do Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees, reach the arms, inhale. Exhale, fold. I'm going to use the blocks here because they help give a little bit more height and space and keep the practice light. If you wanted to, you could float back or step back and we'll meet here. And the same thing, we lower, Inhale, rise. Coming forward, find an inhalation here as you lift the sternum, gazing down the nose. And then exhale, we'll take it back, downward facing dog. We're going to step the right foot forward. We're going to come into a lunge. So bend the back knee at first, and we're going to rise up on an inhalation, reaching the arms. Find your steady gaze forward for a moment as you take your tail under on that left side, and then try to straighten the leg and find a big inhalation here. And exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, see if you can find depth. One more, inhale, filling up with breath. And exhale. Inhale as you rise up, reaching forward, taking the hands down, stepping back to plank, and we'll lower down. Exhale. Inhale. So even if you find breaths in between my cueing of breaths, that's great. Just stay with it. But try to have your inhalations and your exhalations equal in length. It's tricky sometimes. Step the left foot forward, bend the back knee for a lunge, find an inhalation to reach up, and then bend the back knee as you tuck your right butt under, and then try to straighten, keeping your gaze down at first. Now try to straighten. You feel the hip flexors on the right side. Now inhale, lift, exhale, let the breath take you back. Inhale, lift, let the breath take you back. So you're allowing, inhale, exhale. And now inhale, rise up, reaching forward, take the hands down, step back, and find an exhalation as you lower. Inhale, rise, and coming forward. The tail is under, find an inhalation here. Exhale. One more, inhale. And then we exhale into downward facing dog. And breathe, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And just stay here for as many breaths as you need. And then find a gaze point. You can push down with your hands. And there's a moment where there's no breath. You lift up, and then you exhale. Sometimes those little pauses are nice where there's no breath. Bend the knees. And come to stand. But I'm going to do one more, and I'm not using the blocks, but feel free to. Inhale. I like to see if I can find it without them sometimes. And fold, find the height. And then inhale, lengthen. And let's take it back. And then lower on an exhalation. Rise up. We're coming into upward facing dog. And I want you to really find that inhalation as you gaze down the nose. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're going to step the right foot forward for warrior one and take the back foot down. So rise up. Now find an inhalation and then an exhalation, go back. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, rise up. Reach the arms and take your hands down. Stepping back, let's go ahead and lower. Exhale, belly is in. Inhale, rise up and come forward. Now find an inhalation here as you lift up, gazing down the nose. Inhale and exhale, down dog. Now we'll do the other side. So with the right foot down, the left foot forward, keeping the tail under on that right side, reaching up, finding your drishti, your gaze up to your hands. Inhale, exhale, let it take you back. Do one more, inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise up, reach, and then take your hands down, step back, and lower, exhale. Inhale, rise, and come through. Big breath in, tail under, and exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale, keeping the belly in. And exhale. You can breathe with Uddiyana Bandha in gaze. You just have to breathe more into the circumference of the rib cage. Inhale. And then you will allow your poses to go deeper by using the breath. And then find a gaze point. Bend the knees. There's a moment where there's no breath happening. And you fold. But it's not a holding, it's just a retention of breath. Inhale, like a pause, and exhale. Let's take the feet out hip width, and we'll come into Utthanasana. So big breath in, exhale, hinge at the hip sockets right here. So make sure your low back is lengthened as you come down. We'll stop here, look up and lengthen. Make sure your low back is really lengthening. And then we'll inhale again and use the exhale to guide you deep into a forward bend. And just go where your body wants to go today. Exhale. Inhale, fill up. Exhale. Allow yourself to go deeper into the pose. Inhale. And just go where you can. And let's rise up. Reaching and exhaling, letting the hands come down. Let's step together for Samasthiti, and we'll set up for some standing poses. So I'm going to use the blocks. I'm going to put one in the front and one in the back. And then we'll go ahead and step out. And then from here, we're going to come into Konasana. So turning the left foot in and the right foot out. Inhale here, gazing down my fingertips. Exhale, take the hand down. You could stop here, or if you're using a block, whatever level feels good in your body today. Now the gaze is going to go from down to up as you exhale. Breathe. I'm pulling my right butt back. Inhale. I'm trying to align my head with my tailbone so it's not forward or back. And now as I inhale, I lengthen my spine. As I exhale, I can feel my right ribs turning up to my left hand, and then gazing up. Inhale, rise up. Other side. Pivoting the feet, right foot in, left foot out. Inhale, I'm gazing down my hand. Exhale, find the pose, and then gazing up. Inhale, I'm turning my left ribs, then gazing up to my hand. So as I inhale, I lengthen my spine. As I exhale, I feel the length and a little bit of a turn and a reach. Inhale, rise up. Let's pivot for Prasarita Trikonasana. This one's tricky. So can you really allow your breath to bring you around? Your spine is turning, then the shoulders, and then the head finds its place. So inhale, get long, get a lot of length in your spine. And take a moment to find even more. Inhale, length. The hips try to stay secure and they don't move very much as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, feel the left ribs turn to the right and you reach up. And the spine is long. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, rising up. And we'll go to the other side. So pivoting the feet. Inhale here, reach. Really reach, keep the spine long. Take the hand down. I like to look to the foot so I know my spine is lengthening. And then I'm turning my right ribs to the left as I exhale. And then I change my gaze. Inhale, so I'm turning from the rib cage. And exhale, that happens. Inhale, length. Exhale, turn. And then inhale, rising up. And we'll pivot to the right. So let's turn the back foot in and the front foot out for warrior two. I'm going a little longer with my stance here. Inhale. Now I'm gazing over the front fingertips, the right fingertips. Breathe. Inhale. As I exhale, I feel the hips open even more. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to take this into reverse warrior. So you can gaze down your left shoulder as you inhale here and reach. Exhale. Let's change the gaze. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. And now we'll come into Konasana. So Utthita Konasana, extended side angle. Reach. Inhale here. Maybe you're taking your hand down. Exhale, or maybe you stay on your thigh. Inhale here. I'm turning my right ribs up towards the ceiling as I gaze to my left hand. Inhale. And then on the exhale, I feel the right ribs turn. And then inhale, rising up. We'll pivot to the other side. Turn the right foot in, the left foot out, and gently gazing down my fingertips, breathing. Inhale, exhale, feel the opening. Inhale, exhale. Inhale here, gaze down the right shoulder as you exhale. Inhale, exhale. Change your gaze up if that's doable. One more. Inhale, rise up, Konasana. Inhale here, exhale. Maybe you want to take your hand down, or you can stay there. Inhale, exhale, turning the left ribs towards the ceiling, gazing to the hand or maybe the arm or maybe straight ahead. One more breath. Inhale, rise up. And now we'll come into Prasarita Padottanasana. So have your feet facing straight ahead, or maybe even feel like they're angled slightly inward. Take your hands on your waist, take a big breath in, and then exhale, come forward. Feel the hinge at the hips. We'll take the hands down to the floor, adjust your feet as you need. You could even use a block for your head, if your head didn't come all the way down. Exhale down. Now notice your breath here. Shoulders away from your ears, straight legs. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And again. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Take the hands on the waist and rise. I'm going to use my little towel here for the next one. Or you could just interlace your hands. This gives my shoulder a little bit more space, and it allows me to go deeper into this stretch rather than striving with my hands close together. But it comes naturally for some people to just interlace. So do what feels good in your body. Inhale. And you could also interlace and just go to where it felt okay, doable. Exhale over. Inhale here. And exhale. If your head isn't touching the floor, use the block. With each breath, I inhale, and then I exhale further. Inhale, exhale. One more. And allow. Inhale, rising up. And we'll go ahead and put this aside. And let's come into goddess pose. So just turn out a little bit. Inhale and exhale. Gaze to the hands. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale, rising up. And we're going to take a step up to the front, Samasatihi. And now we're going to step out for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So we'll start with the right leg. So go ahead, we're going to use the wall because that allows us to go a little deeper. So, and maybe explore that depth. So let the right leg come up and just notice what's going on in your body today. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the big toes. And then go ahead, or big toe, and go ahead and lift up. And then from here, take a breath in and exhale, and see if you can lift up a little higher. Now we're going to inhale here, exhale, open. Play around with letting go. Maybe you can take your hand on your waist. Breathe. And keep that drishti, that gaze point down the nose and a little to the floor. And then exhale as you bring the leg back. Inhale here, we're going to give this a go. So take your hand on the wall if you need to exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Now we're just going to hold the leg out there as best you can, breathing, keeping that gaze point. Inhale, exhale, letting the leg come down. Now we'll go to the other side. Keep it light, go to where you can. Feel free to use the wall, okay? So let the left leg come up, bending the knee, and then grab the toe. Inhale, find that drishti. It's a little down and forward, and lift. And go to where you can. Maybe you don't need to use the wall, but maybe it's nice it's there. It's allowing you to explore that. Inhale here, exhale, open. Breathing, find that gaze point. Go ahead and bring it back. Now you might want to use the wall for this one. Exhale, see what you can do. Trying to keep your shoulders down. Rise up. Now release. Breathe, inhale, and exhale, and again, and lower. Have you ever noticed when things get tough, it's hard to breathe? We want to hold our breath. It's really nice when you can catch that and breathe through it, and you feel everything just relaxes. It takes it down a bit. So we're going to come back up to the front in Samasthiti, and we'll make our way down to the floor. But first I'm going to move the blocks so they're at the front. Inhale and exhale, fold. Let's make our way to downward facing dog just for a moment and feel that length. Just take another breath here. Inhale, notice how it feels now. Exhale. You have a choice. You can either step up to the front or lightly step, like a little hop, and come down, and we're gonna see if we can find lift here. And slowly come down. And just have fun with that. It's a nice way to develop that strength. And then come to seated. And from here, we're in nice Dandasana. So sit up and see if you can get your low back really lengthened. So if you need to, you could bend your knees, but we're sitting up really tall. Now see if maybe you can straighten your legs and keep that. If not, you could use a towel for the forward bend, or you could sit up on a block or a blanket. So we're gonna go to Paschimottanasana. Inhale here, lengthen through the low back, and then exhale, allow the forward bend to happen. So do what feels good in your body. Some of you might be able to grab a wrist, which feels nice, or maybe you're interlacing, or maybe you're grabbing your feet. But breathe. Inhale, lengthen, and then find a place of surrender. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Exhale. Now inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release. So we're gonna move into some of the hip openers, which if you really use your breath, you might find you go a little deeper. So we'll start by bending the knees and just sit up for a moment. And then just let your body curl back a little. And then sit up and just notice where you are. If you need to curl back a little in this one, it's okay. We're just going to gently rock the knees side to side and notice if you have any restrictions. So inhale and exhale. Just breathe through this one. Inhale, just finding some mobility in the joint, in the hip socket. Exhale. Have your feet nice and wide. And then you might be able to do it without your hands. Just see. Play around with that. Exhale. What does that feel like? And come back to center. And now we're going to come into kind of a pigeon prep pose, because pigeon is sometimes hard to find, but it's a great hip opener. So we're going to start in this kind of 90 angle shape. And you can lean to the right if you need to. If this is really hard, you could put a block under your right butt. And then we'll come into this kind of 90 and we'll sit up. And now I want you to focus on turning this left inner thigh in and opening your right knee and sit up. And now from here, you keep that action and you start to come forward, right in the middle. Just try to come forward and breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Nice deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to take it into a deeper pigeon pose. So I'm going to walk the back foot back. If you need to, you could walk this front foot in. Try to have your knee in alignment with your hip and then lift up. And we're really trying to turn this left hip and get that left butt under as you turn. And then you're pulling the right butt back. You could then take a block for support and point your back toe so you stay lifted and then start to come forward. Now, I really want you to feel that external rotation and the right butt. Just see where you can go with that. Now try some deep breaths here. You could have your head on a block or just on your hands. Now take some deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. I feel like I'm really pressing down and opening this right hip. Breathing. Exhale, release. See if you can get deeper. And again, inhale. And notice you have neck tension. I had a little there, so draw the shoulders down. And then inhale, we'll start to rise up. You could have your block handy here. Rise up. You could even tuck your toes under and turn that hip a little bit and see if you can get some lift here. Maybe you could take your right hand on the block, lift the left arm. Inhale. I'm not really sitting on this block. I'm lifted. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it take you back. And then inhale, rise up. And we'll go to the other side. So slowly bringing your leg around. You can take this block out. Just have it in front of you for now as we set up for the other side. So the left leg comes in front, the right leg goes back, and you're making like a 90 angle. And you can sit on that left butt. If you needed to, you could be up on a block, right? And then find that internal rotation on that right leg. Really try to turn it in as you sit up. Breathing here. Inhale. And turn that right hip in. Now we're going to come forward. So start to come forward. You could use the block or maybe you don't need to. And breathe. Inhale. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And now inhale, rise up. We're going to set up for pigeon pose. So this left leg could move in a little bit and you could bend it a little bit more if you needed to. You want to make sure your knee is in alignment with your hip. As you lift up, turn that right leg in, rotate it in, take the tail under on that right side. So you're not sticking your butt out, it's under. Then I think it's quite nice to take a block for support. Just to support you. But you really want to feel this stretch and you want to keep your legs active the whole time. Then we start to come forward. You could use your block maybe for your head. Inhale. Exhale. I'm feeling this opening. Inhale. Don't be afraid to go deep on the exhalations and allow the stretch to happen. And one more. Exhale. Also, if this was feeling good and you wanted to stay longer, absolutely pause the video and do that. Now we're going to rise up. You could move this foot in a little bit to help get some lift. If you notice, I'm not really sitting on the block, right? See if you can find that. You could move the other block in and lift away up. And then inhale here and exhale. Inhale, exhale, let it take you deeper. One more, inhale, exhale. And then inhale, rise up, and we'll slowly start to come out, just taking your time and finding your way back into Dandasana. And just stay in Dandasana for a moment. Notice, can you sit way up? Do you need to bend your knees a little to do that? And now we're going to come into a really nice twist called Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. I have no idea, but let's go ahead. We're going to bend the left knee and cross the right ankle over the left knee. And notice if your butt is really off the floor, it's a good idea. It might help you to sit on a block. You don't have to though. Sometimes it's nice to try these things because rather than striving for the twist, you might find with a little assistance, you kind of melt into it. So you allow it. So go ahead and sit up to start. So we want the spine really lengthened, and then we turn from the ribs, right? It's that thoracic spine, like right in here. So inhale here, lift up, take the crook of the elbow first, and you could even use it. If you're sitting on a block, you could even use the other block. Lift up, inhale, exhale, come around. Now, if this feels really good in your body, inhale, lifting up, exhale, feeling the ribs turn. You could take your arm on the other side maybe. Inhale, only if you stay lifted though. And exhale, let the left ribs turn you, and then the head comes last. I'm gazing down the nose. Inhale, and maybe towards that right shoulder a bit. Feel the breath bring you around. Exhale, the left ribs turn. And then inhale, come back to the center. And now we're going to go to the other side. For the other side, I'm not going to use the block just so that you can see the options, but use it if it really helps you. And we're going to bring the right leg in and the left ankle outside of the right knee. And then just take a moment and sit up. Get your spine really lengthened. Inhale, you can take your crook of your elbow on your knee. Exhale, feel the right ribs turn to the left on the exhalation. Inhale, I'm gazing down the nose. And exhale. If this is feeling good and you want to try, you can take your arm on the other side. Inhale, lift way up. Exhale, I feel the ribs bring me around. One more. Wow, that feels so good. Okay, so we'll come down and we'll come to Dandasana. And next we're going to go ahead and make our way over to our knees. So you could cross and maybe roll over your feet or just arrive on your knees. And we'll come into Virasana. This pose is challenging for me because of my osteoarthritis in my knees. So by using blocks, I can allow the pose to happen rather than trying to force it in a way that just doesn't feel good. And we come back. And I've had to accept that I used to do this without props, but that's okay. Now I use props. So let's sit up tall for a moment and just breathe. Just notice your breath. Today we'll take chin mudra. So instead of having the palms up, we'll just face them down and go a little bit more inward. So just notice, where are you? Inhale. Exhale. Just focus on the breath. And now we're going to take it into a back bend. So we're going to inhale, lift the spine. We're going to reach the arms. Inhale, lift way up. Exhale, take it back. Feel the upper spine, the whole thoracic, the whole spine. Inhale. Sometimes we leave out the upper spine though, and we just arch in the lower spine. So see if you can find more radial expansion here. Inhale by engaging the back. Exhale. One more. Inhale, rise up. And just pause for a moment. From here, we're going to lean back a little. It's Supta Virasana, but if your body does it pretty easily, you can go ahead and go for the full pose. For my body, I'm just going to do a mellow version of it. And Supta Virasana is just in Virasana lying on your back. But I'm just going to focus on lifting the pelvis a little, getting the tail under, and trying to lean back. And I'm using my hands, and I'm keeping my tail under, and my sternum a little lifted, but I'm not arched. So just trying to bend back. And every once in a while I lift up, I take my tail under. Now you might find yourself on your elbows, or maybe you can go all the way down quite easily and breathe. And if you can, that's awesome. That's really cool. Enjoy it because it's a great pose. And then inhale, rise up. And let's come up on our knees now. And we'll go ahead and take the blocks outside of the ankles. Some of you, if you're not using blocks, might want to come to your toes, or you might be able to do, we're going to do Ustrasana, camel pose. You might be able to do it with your feet down. That's good too. So we're going to press the shins down to start and feel a sense of the tail under. We're going to do this entrance a little different today. We're going to exhale our way back, keeping that tail under, right? A nice neutral spine. So you feel the hip flexors stretch. You come back, touch the blocks, and then lift the sternum and start to exhale and come into the pose. Inhale. Exhale, see if you can come a little deeper. Inhale, exhale. And then inhale. Let's stay in this position, use your legs, and rise up. And then we're going to do that again, but we'll do a little variation. So let's exhale. Don't come in from the side this time. Sometimes we do that, but let's let the body come back. You hinge at the knees, but keep the tail under. You can take your left hand on the block and then start to take your pelvis forward and up, and the sternum lifts and everything's open, and you reach and you gaze to your right hand. Inhale, exhale. So here you take that. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale, rising up. Hopefully that felt great. Let's go to the other side. Hinge back, put the hand on the block, reach your arm, reaching, inhale, lift up, exhale. So you're taking the tail under, it's like pubic bone to heart, exhale, reach, reach, and then inhale, rising up. And then from there, we'll make our way down to the floor. So we'll just come to seated. Let's come into a nice Padottanasana. So take the feet together. You can open the knees, scoot the butt up a little bit. Inhale here, take a breath in. Exhale, just see where your body wants to go. Don't force. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders down. One more breath. Exhale. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, release. I'm going to do a back bend over the blocks, but you don't have to do this over blocks, but it feels really nice. So set yourself up so that when you go down, you have this block right at your sternum. So right at the edge of the shoulder, bottom edge of the shoulder blades, your sternum's here. You want that supported. And then you could take your other block at your head. We're going to take a nice variation today where we come into Padangusthasana again. So just reach the arms and breathe here. Inhale and exhale. And now you could stay here with your arms, or if you wanted to, I think it's a little easier and a little different to open out to the side. See what that feels like. Inhale and exhale. Focusing on a neutral pelvis. Try not to arch your back too much, and try not to tuck. So just neutral, and let the legs surrender open. One more breath. Again, though, if you wanted to, you could stay here as long as you'd like. Go ahead, let the legs come together and straighten the legs. Take a breath in and exhale. Feel the rolling up, pull the belly in. And then we'll take the blocks and put them to the side for now and do a roll back. Notice how your breath assists you in this. So inhale, sit up. Exhale, start to curl the spine. You might need to take a few breaths here. So pause, inhale. Use the exhalation to take you deeper. If you need to hold on, do that. Whatever you need, inhale and exhale. Let's bend the knees. We'll come into an articulating bridge. So come in nice and close if you can. Shoulders roll open, neck is long. Take a breath in. Make sure you don't scrunch in your neck and shoulders as you curl and come up. Inhale, reach the arms. If you wanted to, you could lift the heels. That's up to you. Start to curl and come down. We're just going to do one. So make it really juicy. Pull the belly in. Exhale as you curl down. And then take the hands down. And now we're going to finish with an inversion. So it's a supported inversion. So you could take your pelvis up on a block and your legs up, or you could have your legs against a wall. Or some of you, if you don't have osteoporosis and it's not contraindicated, could come into halasana and shoulder stand. So you stay here with your ribs in and your legs engaged, or you come over and maybe halasana. Keep your neck long if you're doing this. You could play around if you wanted to come to shoulder stand, keeping the neck long. Gazing down the nose and maybe in the direction of the feet. Stay as long as you'd like. Or maybe you want to come down. Bending the knees. And slowly. You could pause the video and take your time in this little section. And explore different shapes. I'll show you what I mean. You can kind of walk over side to side sometimes. That feels nice, right? Or even with bent knees. It's your time to kind of explore, notice what's going on in your body, but breathing. And you could even, in this section, let the Ujjayi breath just really be a calm breath now. Let go of the Ujjayi or the hissing sound. And then we'll lift up, inhale. Let the hips shift to the left. Inhale, let the knees come up. And then exhale, take the legs over to the right. You could gently take your right hand on the left knee. Inhale here. Exhale, feel the left shoulder open. Inhale. Let everything be gentle. Let your ribs turn. So as you inhale, take the breath in. As you exhale, let the right ribs turn to the left. And then inhale, rising up. Let's lift the hips and shift them to the right. Inhale, let the knees come up. Exhale, knees over to the left. Inhale here. Exhale, turning the left ribs to the right. Rolling that right shoulder open and gazing maybe to the right, maybe straight up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, allow. And then inhale, coming back to the center. Let's come into a nice happy baby. Just allowing yourself to be this baby. And let's go ahead and release into Savasana. Just accepting where you are right now in this moment. Just be that inner light. I'm going to go ahead and take us out. So just become aware of your breath. Slowly starting to move fingers and toes. And then bending the knees. And rolling over to your right side. And pause in a fetal position for a moment. And then make your way up to seated. And we'll join here. And just take a moment in this seated position to notice, where are you? Are you allowing this inner light to shine? And just be that. And create space for that. And share that acceptance in everything you do with everyone you know. Namaste.